I am a huge advocate of quantity over quality. Yeah, you heard me right. Quantity over quality. Now, why do I say that, right? Because we've all heard the mantra, it's about quality over quantity. It's about doing a few things very well than it is about creating massive amounts. What I would say is that this has its place, especially at the end of a process. But when we're starting out, when we're looking to grow and learn and explore, then oftentimes this idea of quality can be very detrimental to the exploration process. I'll give you a great example. In a book called Atomic Habits from a guy named James Clear, he talks specifically about a photography professor who at the beginning of the semester divided the class into two parts. To one group, he says, you will be based on quantity. It's about how many photos you produce during the semester. And at the end, when it comes to grading, if you have 100 photos, then you get an A, or top marks. 90 photos, 80, and so on. The grades go down. The other half of the class, you guys, your grade is based on quality. You will have one photo. And at the end of the semester, you will have had the entire semester to work and hone on this one photo. And it needs to be technically perfect and well composed and all of these different things. But you've got the whole semester. All right, off you go. And when it came time for final grading, fascinatingly enough, the best photos came out of the quantity group. Now, why is that? You might ask, because, they produced a lot, but the other guys were really focused on quality. Well, that's exactly what happened, is that the folks that were having the grade based on quantity of the number of photos, they gave themselves room to play. They didn't have the pressure of thinking of perfection and of top quality in the back of their minds. Instead, they played with modalities, they experimented, they tried different ways of exposing their film. And through that process, they learned so much through experimentation. On the flip side, the group that was focused on quality spent most of the semester in their heads, meaning trying to contemplate and think about what composition might give them the best opportunity and what are the techniques that they should utilize in order to make sure that they expose their film properly. How often do we see this in our own projects, especially in the corporate world where tight timelines are the norm? Where it's not about having a lot of time to experiment and explore, but at the same time, we claim that innovation is high on our list. So this is what I would say is important to understand about quantity over quality. It is not about wasting time. It's not about doing frivolous, random things. But when we intentionally allow ourselves the playground to explore and to experiment, this is how we come to quality. This is how we understand what areas are best to explore and what areas don't really serve us so well. So the next time that you find yourself stuck, thinking, I need to create this top quality thing, or it's about perfection. It's about creating something top quality. Give yourself a moment to take a deep breath and allow yourself the space to play in the realm of quantity for a little while, to give yourself the room to explore, the room to experiment, and watch how that leads to some of the greatest and most beautiful quality discoveries.